Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm actually going to take the relays out from underneath my dashboard and give them a thorough inspection and a really good cleaning. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I came across a couple of other videos on YouTube about these relays and the problems they can cause with starting issues of a Mercedes Sprinter, and also they cause other issues such as windscreen wipers not working, stereos not working, indicators not working. They're quite important relays, and if you own a Sprinter I highly recommend you watch those videos. I will link them down in the description of this video. Now it is about to rain, so I'm going to keep this really quick and short as I possibly can. I'll just quickly show you where those relays are. I've already taken the screw out from underneath, but here it is. You remove this cover and then the relays, with the help of my little torch here, you'll be able to see them up inside there. They're grey and yellow, and there's 6 of those, and they're the ones I need to remove, and hopefully I can get into them and clean them. Now both of the videos that I've just mentioned earlier, they do recommend you change these relays, but I've had a look and they are quite expensive, so that's why I'm going to take them out and see if I can actually clean them. Are they serviceable? Even though they're not supposed to be serviceable, they are supposed to be just thrown away. Right, without further ado, I'm going to whip a couple out, jump in the back of the van, take them apart and have a little look. They're in there good and tight. To wiggle it about a bit. It's coming. Oh, there it is. Right, so let's take this into the back of the van and take it apart. And I can actually see some green corrosion on one of these terminals. Maybe this is our problem. Let's take a little look. Okay, so here's one of the grey relays. I pulled this one out because it was the easiest one to get to. Now you can clearly see there are four terminals on this, which means there are 2 different circuits. There's the low ampage circuit, which is these 2 smaller ones, and the high ampage circuit, which are the big fat thick ones. Now it is literally just an on-off switch, and it uses the low ampage to control the high ampage. Now I've already prized this grey cover off. I just used a pocket knife. I'll quickly show you how it works. You can see the lugs inside there, so I had to prise these apart. There's 4 of them, and then slide this off. I did actually manage to damage this, so if you're going to do this, be really careful. Don't be so cumbersome as I was. When I put this back together, I'm going to need to reseal this somehow to make sure no moisture gets back inside there. So yeah, I'm a bit gutted I cracked that, but never mind, we'll put that to one side. Now like I say, there are 2 circuits. Now the low ampage circuit, so when let's say for argument's sake this is the starter relays, when I flick my switch on my ignition, it then puts a low ampage draw to these 2 smaller terminals, and this causes an electromagnetic field via this coil, and it draws these 2 terminals together. You can just see there, hopefully the camera can pick that up, and that is it. That's all it does. It just moves this like that, and it causes a circuit in those 2 little square terminals there, and that puts high ampage drawing circuit through these bigger terminals. Now I can see quite clearly there's all green corrosion around these terminals. They do look a bit white and dusty, so they definitely need cleaning. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this using some 2000 grit wet and dry and some contact cleaner. Now this is WD-40, but it is electrical contact cleaner. It's not the regular oil WD-40. So to clean the terminals, I'm simply going to make some of this wet and dry wet using this contact cleaner. Probably spray this as well, give it a little soak in, so it's nice and wet. And then I'm simply going to try and thread this through here. It is it's a very small gap. This reminds me of cleaning points on the old-fashioned petrol cars. I'm simply going to rub this around a bit like this and give it a good polish. Now I'm going to do this to all 6 of those relays under my dashboard. Even though on the outside they appear to be in good condition. But yeah, I was quite surprised to see how green this was. I don't think you can see it on the camera though. And this is it. This is all I'm going to do, is just polish it literally. I'm putting my finger on there because I'm applying a little bit of pressure. Not too much, just enough to let that grip. There you go, you can see where it's been cleaning. Put it in there again, give it a bit more. Oh, that's cold. Once I've done this, I'll simply put it back together. Now once I've finished with the emery paper, I'm quite pleased with that. That looks really clean now. It's actually shiny and clean. I'm going to give it a good blast with the cleaner and then let it dry for a couple of minutes, because that will just evaporate, dry off, and then I'm going to simply put it all back together again and put it back where it came from, and then pull out another one and start the process all over again until I've done all 6 of them. So for those of you that are wondering how I take these apart, I simply take my little pocket knife, wedge it down the sides, and then put some cardboard down in the gap to hold the sides apart, and then gently work it out, and as you can see it comes apart like that. I have managed once again to damage the side of this one, so it's not the easiest job to do, but I guess with a bit of practice it'll get easier. So let's take a look at this one. Yeah, this one's got a little bit of corrosion in there as well. I can clearly see the terminals look quite dirty, so yeah, well worth taking these out and cleaning them, despite the damage you're going to cause to the case. Right, carry on. Now here's something that's quite interesting. This is inside one of the yellow ones. Now the yellow ones have double terminals, so when it's resting, when there's no power going to the coil, the contacts are on this side. When there's power goes to the coil, the little thing flicks over and then it makes contact with the terminal on the other side. So they're actually double. Let me just hold that a bit closer. You can see that terminal there, it flicks between the two. But the really interesting thing is, inside the case you can see there's little scorch marks in there. You can see little burn marks. So this was definitely sparking out, and 100% this needed cleaning. So I'm really glad I've gone to the trouble of taking these apart. Really excited about this. I really do think, well, I'm hoping this will be the end of my problems. Well, I wasn't going to film any more of these relays, but holy moly, take a look at this. This is incredible. Look at the amount of corrosion inside this one. Hopefully the camera will focus on that. If I hide my face, it'll focus on this. Give it a minute. Oh, let's go back there. There you go. Take a look at that. Can you see all the green in there? Let's just move that light a bit more. Now this relay definitely needed changing or cleaning or something. Definitely needed attention. I'm so pleased I took this apart. It is definitely corroded. Look at all the green in there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this now. Well, out of interest, I thought I'd get my multimeter out and see what the resistance is on this before I actually clean it. Take a look at this. It's got... This is pretty shocking actually. Let me just move you down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so there's my multimeter. You can see it says 1. Now the idea is when I've touched these together, that should go to 0. So that means 0 resistance. Now, if I put it on this relay, this is the really corroded one, and that should go 0. It actually doesn't. It doesn't even change. So that means this relay is definitely not working. There is 100% resistance between these terminals when I push them together. This could be my problem. Yeah, I'll just put it here so you can see what I'm doing. Let's put that to one side. Is that in shot? Right. So I'm simply putting one terminal here on the back of this, on one there, and pushing together, and you can see 100% resistance. Yeah, and that is definitely all metal, all of that. The back of this, let's give it a little scrape. There you go, it's still 100%. Oh, it's changing. Right, let's give this a clean and then read the meter again. I'm even going to use a fresh bit of paper. There we go. I'm quite excited because this could actually be the cause of my problems, or some of them anyway. This contact has definitely gone bad. There we go. Now it's going all to zeros. Hang on, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see that. Now push it together. There we go, it's working now. So it just goes to show cleaning them does make a difference. Well, I'm happy to report now that I've given it a really good clean. If I put the terminals on these terminals, try and hold them there. I had it just now, like that, and touch that with my finger. There you go. We've got no resistance now. Every time I touch it, it's working. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Look at this now, look how clean it is now. You can see it's totally different now. All the green's gone, the terminals are nice and shiny. So I'm going to put this back together. Happy in the knowledge that it's now good and it's clean. Slot that back in there. I'll put a bit of tape around it so I know I've done this one. If you haven't got the confidence to clean these yourself, then do just go and buy new ones. Who knows how long this will last? That's the gamble, I guess. If it starts if it fixes my problems and it starts playing up again in say another year's time, I will go and buy some new ones. But they are really expensive. They're like 30 quid each, and there's 3 of these, 3 of the yellow ones. Right, let's pop this back in and go and get the others. Well, here's a strange contrast. This yellow one that I've just took out actually looks brand spanking new. It's as clean as the day it was made, so I don't think I need to clean this one. Look at the contacts compared to the other one. They are actually looking brand new. Now, whilst taking this apart, I've kind of developed my taking apart technique. What I've done, using my pocket knife, I trimmed the lugs off of this side and I trimmed the lugs off of there, and then all I had to do is slip my pocket knife down this side and another pocket knife that side and simply pry it out. Doing that, it come apart really easy and didn't damage the case. Well, they're all cleaned up, they're all put back in, and I've got to say the top 2 yellow ones over on this side, closest to the door, they were both like brand new. It was the other ones, the yellow one that was burnt out. Let me just quickly try and show you this for those of you that are interested. The yellow one that was burnt out was that one there, the one on the right hand side, and the worst grey one was the one below it. So those 2 there I would definitely check out if you've got a Sprinter, just to make sure they're not in the same condition as mine. Right, I'm going to put the cover back on and then start Mary up and see what happens. Right. Fan is such a mess. Oh dear. Could this be it? Windscreen yet. I'll do that in a minute. When I start my van from cold, I like to let the little pigtail thing go on twice, just to let the glow plugs really warm it up and do the thing. Right, once again, no warning lights just yet.
3 channels started.
The dash cam letting me know it's working. Right, whilst that warms up, I'm going to hoover my windscreen. Still no lights up yet. Right, I'm not going to get too excited, because what happened last time, after a little while the light come back on. Actually, does everything still work? The wipers still work, the squirters still work.
Think of the advantage.
The stereo still works, that's the main thing. Horn still works. Lights still work. Indicators are still working. So I've not made anything worse. It can only get better, right? The fan's still working. Yep. Aircon. There's a button for the aircon. That one. Yep. Aircon's still working. So I've not damaged anything. Everything seems to still be working. Still goes into gear. Yeah. Right. Fingers crossed. I'll get back to you. I'm going to go for a little drive, and then I've got to go down the shops, run some errands. Be right back. Well, I've been driving around all afternoon. I've done lots of stopping, lots of starting, and I'm pleased to say it actually worked. I think I may have fixed my Sprinter at last. Take a look. No warning lights. Oh boy, am I ever relieved. Now, thank you to everyone for all your positive energy and all your suggestions. I really do appreciate it. Honestly, I was at the point of just giving up. I'm so pleased and I am so grateful. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, please do consider subscribing, and I'll see you on my next adventure. Now that my van's fixed, ta-ra for now.